It's December 23rd, so that means Happy Festivus. A Festivus for the rest of us. So, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the 9th and final film in the 42-year-long franchise, has finally come out. And I was there on opening night, dressed as a rebel resistance pilot. And apparently the theater I went to has a no costume policy, which I didn't know about. Nobody said anything other than, cool costume, dude. And I wish I thought of them. Wow, he's really prepared for the movie. And, honestly, the film was such a great, fun, exciting ride. I loved every moment of it, nearly. And, it really got me thinking, because a couple months back, I had this idea that Palpatine was going to travel through time, and he was going to send Rey back in time, and that she would be the vessel for which Anakin would be born, and that she would be Shmi. Now, we all remember back in Attack of the Clones, when Anakin goes to try to save Shmi from the Tusken Raiders, and she dies in his arms. After that, he swears that he'll become the most powerful Jedi ever. He even learns to stop people from dying. Well, there is a lot of Shmi-ness with Rey. She does harken back to that a lot in this film, because, well, spoiler alert, she dies. And Ben Solo, the redeemed Ben Solo, uses the Force to save her. It costs him his life. Now, we know from the Darth Plagueis the Wise story that the ability to cheat death is a power that only one has ever achieved. Well, now we can chalk it up to 2. But the point is that when Ben did it, it was an act of self-sacrifice. It was a selfless act. And this reminds me of George Lucas talking about how the core differences between the dark side and the light side is the light side is selflessness, and the dark side is selfishness. This was Kylo being selfless for Ben being selfless for the first time in a long time, and it is that absolute selflessness that allowed him to save the ones he loved from certain death. So yes, Rey was Shmi from a certain point of view, and Padme from a certain point of view. And I also love how they mirrored the kiss between Anakin and Padme after Anakin has just killed Dooku and he's turned. Padme is all like, I'm pregnant. Oh, when Rey and Ben kissed, it was the same framing. And when Rey was dead in Ben's arms, it was the same framing as Shmi being dead in Anakin's arms. There's a lot of symmetry there between those scenes and, this final scene in Rise of Skywalker. I've just been thinking about that a lot because, I think about something a lot. I just saw the movie, but there's just so much symmetry there, and that's what I really love about this final trilogy. Is there's so much of the prequels in it, but it has the aesthetic of the originals, and it blows my mind how well they're able to keep it balanced. Now, another thing I used to think about this trilogy a lot was how balanced it was, because in The Force Awakens, you have young Kylo and old Snoke, and you have, young Rey and old Luke, and then, so the Force is in balance. And then when you get to The Last Jedi, Luke dies, Snoke dies, you still have one dark side person, one light side person, and the Force seems to be in balance. You get to this movie, you learn, no, Palpatine's been Palpatine the whole time. Force doesn't seem to be balanced anymore. 2 people get knocked off the list. You're left with Rey, light side person, Jedi person. Force seems kind of out of balance. You see her yellow lightsaber. You remember that, yellow lightsabers of Mosma. Maybe we have a new order starting. Maybe she represents balance. Is she a Jedi? Possibly, possibly not. We don't actually know what religion she's going to conscribe to. Oh, I'm fucking ranting again. So, that's really what I want to know is the Force in balance? Because at the end of the That's a weird looking truck. At the end of the prequel trilogy, the Force is finally in balance. All of a sudden, 2 Sith come along and kill all but 2 Jedi. Balance. At the end of the original trilogy, the dark side is destroyed. You have the Jedi. From a Jedi point of view, the Force is in balance. That's really why I wanted Ben to live, so that you could have the two aspects, the light and the dark, and the dark and the light together, a yin and a yang, surviving at the end to be a perfect balance. But we didn't get that. We had to have Ben die. Yo, they did Fin Po dirty. Man, those two should have been hooking up. They should have been getting it on. Claude could have been watching. But nope, they had to go and give the Latino guy, make him be a former criminal drug dealer runner, spice runner. That's... way to go, JJ. Man, when I smoke the weed, man, I feel like I'm at one with the Force, man. Like I can feel all the midichlorians, man. So yeah, I have so many thoughts about this movie. I'm gonna keep having thoughts about this movie. I want to go see it again. I don't know when I'm gonna have time to see it again because, I mean, I have a lot of time off work right now because of the holidays and whatnot. But so I'm gonna have plenty of time to think about it. I'm gonna have plenty of time to not be able to go and see it because blarg. But hopefully I will have time to go and see it a few more times, and I'm sure I'll keep making more videos about what I think about it. I'd wanted to do more reenactments like I did for The Last Jedi, because those got quite a bit of views compared to my normal videos. But I don't really think I'm going to have the desire, inspiration, etc. There's nothing that really stood out to me that I would or physically could try to recreate. Let me know what you think about the film down below. And peace and love, and may the Force be with you, I guess.